Hello everyone! After deciding to seek therapy, you may have made your first appointment or maybe are still struggling because you don't know what to expect from it. That's why I want to talk about how your first therapy session may go. I'm Psych and work as a psychotherapist, so here are some first-hand impressions and experiences I'm gonna share with you. But first of all, I want to tell you, we know that our clients are nervous, anxious, excited and so on. We take that into consideration. And believe it or not, even after years of practice, I also still am a bit nervous when meeting a new client for the first time. I also don't know who's gonna sit in front of me and how the session will go. Okay, so your first session will start with the greeting. Your therapist will lead you into his room and after sitting down introduce himself by telling his name and disclosing as much info as he or she is comfortable with. Also, if I find something genuinely interesting, I tell my clients that I, for example, like their tattoos or shoes or whatever. But because most of the clients are way too nervous to remember anything I say, after greeting the client I start off with the confidentiality obligation and then say something like, I believe you to be nervous since it must be odd to meet a stranger and tell him about yourself, but I want you to tell me what brings you to me. That's the part where you tell the therapist about yourself. The compassionate therapist will let you take your time and ask follow-up questions to gain a better understanding of your symptoms. You can also expect the therapist to ask you what your goal for therapy will be. That would be something like, what do you want from therapy and what do you think you will need from me to achieve that goal? The therapist will also ask you how you will know that you have achieved your goal. So the symptom evaluation will be the major part of the first session. While talking, you will probably notice your emotions building up. It might get emotional, especially when you normally don't talk about yourself with others, but that's okay. Depending on the therapist, it may also happen that he or she won't talk as much as you would expect when talking to someone else. That's not to intimidate or irritate you. It's for the therapist to see how you react and talk when given the time to, because most of the time with friends and family they give immediate response without letting your emotions build up. Typically at the end, although some therapists may also bring it up at the beginning, you will talk about the therapy costs and payment procedures. I work in Germany, and because the statutory health insurance pays for psychotherapy in Germany, we only talk shortly about payments. At the end, I give some infos about how psychotherapy works, what to expect and what psychodynamic therapy is. In most cases, we make a second appointment for further evaluations. And that would conclude your first therapy session. You probably guessed it, time is limited, especially in the first session. Therefore, I almost always make a second appointment because I like my clients to take their time. In the second session, we talk about diagnosis, the therapy contract, relationship dynamics and some other things. And always remember that the first session is for getting to know each other. That means you can also ask questions to the therapist to ease your mind. Trust your gut if you feel comfortable around the therapist and think thoroughly about it if you want to work with that specific person. Studies showed that 50% of the success of therapy depends on therapeutic relationship. So if there's anything you disliked, talk about it with the therapist. And if you can't solve it, chances are that the conflicts will arise more often. So choose your therapist wisely. After your first therapy session, you will feel so relieved, believe me. So allow therapy to be something you look forward to. Enjoy it. If you have experiences with therapy or had some first sessions in the past, share your experiences with the community. And if you enjoyed this video, as always, like, subscribe and enjoy your day. Take care.